everyone, and welcome back to This Mom Can. If this is your first time here, you are in for a treat, literally. Today, I'm sharing my foolproof recipe for the ultimate banana cake. Now, this isn't just any banana cake. This is the kind of cake that fills your kitchen with the most heavenly aroma, makes your family's eyes light up, and has everyone asking for seconds and maybe thirds. This recipe is perfect for busy moms, aspiring bakers, or anyone who loves the idea of turning a few simple ingredients into something magical. Trust me, it's not just delicious, it's a slice of joy on a plate. So, grab your aprons, preheat your ovens to 180 degrees Celsius, and let's get started on this mouth-watering journey. Before we delve into mixing and baking, let's talk about preparation. Now, one thing I always recommend, and it's a little trick I swear by, is to measure and prep all your ingredients beforehand. There is something so satisfying about having everything neatly laid out. Plus, it makes the whole process seamless, especially if you're baking with kids or juggling other tasks. First, I measured 275 grams of self-raising flour. This flour is a game changer because it already has the raisin ingredient, which means less hassle and a beautiful raisin cake every time. Next, I weighed out 175 grams of castor sugar. Why castor sugar? Its fine texture blends perfectly into the butter, giving the cake that soft sweetness we all adore. Then comes the butter, 150 grams of it. Now, butter is the heart of this recipe. It gives the cake a richness and velvety texture that you just can't achieve with anything else. Once that was done, I moved on to the bananas. 3 large, beautiful, ripe bananas. You know the kind I mean? The ones with brown spots that most people think are overripe. But for baking, oh, they are gold. The more ripe they are, the sweeter and more intense their flavor, which makes the cake extra special. After peeling the bananas, I mash them with a fork. Now, here's where you can personalize your cake. I like the bananas slightly chunky because those little bits of banana in the finished cake are just divine. But if you prefer a smoother texture, you can mash them completely or even blend them. Either way, your cake will turn out amazing. Next up were the eggs, 2 of them. I beat them thoroughly until they were light and airy. Eggs are the glue that holds everything together, giving the cake structure and that lovely bounce when you slice into them. For a little extra magic, I added a teaspoon of baking powder and a teaspoon of nutmeg. Now, nutmeg is my secret weapon. It's warm, it's fragrant, and it complements the sweets of the banana beautifully. If you don't have nutmeg, you could use cinnamon or even a mix of both. But trust me, nutmeg takes this cake to the next level. Before I started combining everything, I melted the butter in the microwave. I used a bit of it to grease my loaf pan. Yes, I went for a loaf pan this time. I find it gives the cake a lovely shape and makes it easy to slice. Of course, you can use a round or square tin if you prefer, but there's something charming about a loaf cake, don't you think? Now, it is time to bring all the wet ingredients together. In a large mixing bowl, I added the melted butter, followed by the mashed bananas. Next, I poured in the beaten eggs and then sieved the castor sugar right into the bowl. Sieving is a small step that makes a big difference. It gets rid of any lumps and ensures the butter is silky smooth. And now, for the secret to making this cake extra moist and tender, I added 2 tablespoons of fresh milk and 2 tablespoons of buttermilk. Let me tell you why these are so important. Fresh milk adds moisture, keeping the cake soft. Buttermilk, on the other hand, has a slight tanginess that enhances the banana flavor and gives the cake a beautiful crumb. Together, they are the perfect duo for a cake that melts in your mouth. To finish off the wet mixture, I added a teaspoon of vanilla essence. It's such a simple ingredient, but it makes a world of difference, adding a subtle sweetness and depth to the flavor. I whisked everything together until it was smooth, creamy, and absolutely irresistible. Now for the dry ingredients, I began adding the self-raising flour a little at a time, whisking gently to avoid overmixing. This step is crucial because overmixing can make the cake dense instead of light and fluffy. As I mixed, the butter came together beautifully, thick yet smooth, with a lovely aroma of bananas and nutmeg wafting through the air. With the butter ready, I poured it into my greased loaf pan, spreading it evenly to ensure an even bake. Then, I popped it into my preheated oven and set the timer for 45 minutes. Now, here's a little tip. Every oven is different, so I recommend checking your cake around the 40-minute mark. You will know it's done when it's golden brown on top and a skewer inserted into the center comes out clean. The waiting is always the hardest part, isn't it? But the smell of banana cake baking, it's pure comfort. When the timer went off, I pulled the cake out of the oven, and let me tell you, it was a thing of beauty. Golden brown with a slight crack on top, a sign of a perfectly baked cake. It's sliced like butter with a soft, fluffy texture that's just irresistible. And the taste? Oh, it's heavenly. The bananas, the nutmeg, the buttery richness, it all comes together in every bit. My children couldn't wait to dig in, and within minutes, half the cake was gone. That's how good it is. So there you have it, my ultimate banana cake recipe. Simple, delicious, and guaranteed to be a hit with everyone. If you try this recipe, I would love to hear how it turned out for you. Leave me a comment below and let me know your thoughts. And don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to This Mom Can, and hit that notification bell so you'll never miss another recipe. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, happy baking, and remember, if this mom can, so can you.